Hello and welcome to Chatterboxes, a new weekly programme brought to you by Quays TV, airing at Friday at 2 p.m.
That's right, over the next coming weeks we'll be bringing you the best that Manchester has to offer in the arts, culture and social world.
First today, Public Health England's Be Clear on Cancer campaign is returning to the North West. The campaign was launched to help people spot early signs of cancer.
After latest figures show that over 2,500 people are diagnosed with bladder and kidney cancer each year in the North West, we sent our reporter Bethan Holmes to find out more on the story.
Did you know that blood in pee is a key symptom for both bladder and kidney cancer? And would you know what to look for?
The Be Clear on Cancer campaign launched in the North West on Tuesday to increase the awareness of symptoms of bladder and kidney cancer. Awareness is a key issue, with many not knowing the symptoms of these types of cancers. The Blood in Pee campaign is asking people to look before they flush, to help catch the cancer early enough so that it can be treated.
We see new bladder cancer diagnoses every week, new kidney cancer diagnoses pretty much every week as well, so they're both common. The key symptom of bladder and kidney cancer is blood in the urine. It's important to emphasise that if you get blood in the urine, it doesn't necessarily mean to say you've actually got one of these cancers, but it's really important that you see your GP and you get referred in so that we can do the relevant tests and make sure that you haven't got one of these cancers. Both kidney and bladder cancer are eminently curable diseases when we catch them very early. The longer the delay, the more likely it is that the tumour or the cancer becomes advanced, the lower the cure rates become until we reach a point where it's spread, and in both of those kidney and bladder cancer cases it becomes incurable at that point.
Well, most definitely for men, because obviously they don't like to go to the doctors if it's something personal, so I think it should be highlighted for that reason. So if it's not such, there's not such a stigma attached to it, then perhaps they won't feel as afraid to approach the doctor.
Yeah. Some people are scared of going to the doctors. Yeah. So there should be some sort of something that's not as like formal as going to a doctor. You know, you can go and say like my friend, and it's get clear instructions on what you should do, rather than have to wait for a doctor's appointment.
There should be a lot more awareness. Yeah. People take your health for granted.
Yeah.
Really do.
Around 1,035 people die every year from kidney and bladder cancer, and these deaths could have been prevented. The campaign hoped to spread awareness across the North West and increase people's knowledge of the disease.
Bethan now joins us in the studio to tell us more about the campaign. So Bethan, this campaign started on Tuesday, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, can you just tell us a bit more about it?
It started on Tuesday and it's been running since 2012, and it's basically a campaign run by Cancer Research UK. So you can go on the website, have a look at that, and they're going to be in shopping centres all around the North West throughout the month, and they're going to be spreading awareness about kidney and bladder cancer.
Okay, so it's both cancers that they're spreading awareness about?
Yes,
yeah?
And it's basically the Blood in Pee campaign, so check the toilet before you flush, basically, and yeah, around 1,035 people die every year in the North West of this type of cancers. So it's just a lot to raise awareness, people's knowledge of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how are they going to spread awareness that fast? I know you said they're around shopping centres and stuff like that, but how do you reckon it's going to influence the people? How do you reckon that it's going to make them want to check? How do you reckon they'll do that?
Yeah, well, they're basically going out into the public and just showing people what the symptoms are and they've got the whole campaign going across national radio, television, and yeah, it's basically going to broaden people's knowledge, and yeah, it's just...
So they can visit their website,
yes.
And that's on the Cancer Research, www.cancerresearch.com,
yep.
And they can find out all the information they can on there and how to get involved. And how to check for symptoms like that, because it is really important. Obviously, you've said all the facts there. People do die of it, and it is really important. So it's really important that we do get involved with it.
Yeah, I went out in the public and asked people whether they knew the symptoms already, as it's a lesser known of the cancers like breast cancer, prostate cancer. They're always in the news. People know a lot about them, whereas like kidney and bladder cancer, not a lot of people know the symptoms, which
Perfect,
is yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you very much for joining us, Bethan.
So thanks, Bethan. Salford residents living with dementia are taking part in a virtual reality rehabilitation trial led by a brain injury charity in Eccles. Reporter Connor Griffiths went to look at the virtual reality Karen system and talked to the staff who operate it.
Virtual reality is widely considered a technology of the future. In Eccles, a pilot programme is taking place, testing virtual reality as a treatment for dementia. The Karen system, which is being used for rehabilitation purposes for the first time at the Basic Charity in Salford, puts its users into physically challenging situations without any real dangers. I spoke to Karen operator Andy Golightly about the system and how the clients have found it so far.
We've had lots of different people with different conditions on the Karen, and they've all really enjoyed it. They've all want to come back for the next session and the next session, and they feel as though that they're having fun rather than traditional rehabilitation therapy. They forget that they're doing that, and they actually sort of enjoy it, and the benefits away from basic have been really good as well.
The system, which cost over £1 million to install, was found by the charity after seeing the system used in Israel for the rehabilitation of soldiers. Wendy Edge, the charity CEO, explained how the installation was funded.
Funding came from all sorts of different places, from grants, from charitable trusts, donations from companies, people doing all sorts of events for us. So just from donations, just all over the place, really.
Yeah. And it's early days of this pilot programme, but its findings could contribute to finding the cure for dementia. Connor Griffiths, Quays News.
If you or anyone else you know has been affected by this story, or you'd like to find out more information, please visit the Brain and Spinal Injury Centre's website. It's www.test.basiccharity.org.uk.
Now, Will joins us in the studio to tell us about some of the events happening in the music world.
Thanks. The NME Awards took place in London on Wednesday at the O2 Academy, Brixton. The annual magazine awards show brings together artists from around the music world to celebrate the past year. Foles won Album of the Year for their stellar effort with What Went Down, and Taylor Swift struggled off strong competition from Kanye West and Kendrick to win Best International Solo Artist. The Libertines and This Is England and Yoko Ono, who picked up their award on her birthday, was also amongst the winners. Controversy was caused when Bring Me the Horizon trashed and broke tables whilst venturing into the crowd during a song performance. The Sheffield Metalers picked up the Innovation Award for resurging hardcore and metal back into the attention of the mainstream. Unfortunately, it was a bad night for 5 Seconds of Summer as they picked up the Worst Band Award, and then at the end of the evening, Coldplay took to the stage to round off the night and collect their Godlike Genius Awards. The Adventure of a Lifetime Rockers played to a string of their hits to a VIP crowd in an incredibly intimate setting. A few more festivals have confirmed to themselves for Glastonbury. The aforementioned Coldplay will play tracks from their near 20-year back catalogue and perform the Pyramid Stage at Poulton Farm. ELO confirmed themselves for the Sunday afternoon Legend slot, and PJ Harvey also announced himself for the festival. A host of massive festivals across Europe also confirmed their headlines. Benny Cassim in Barcelona have announced Muse, The Chemical Brothers and Catfish and the Bottommen, who joined the already great Kendrick Lamar, Jamie XX and Block Party, to name a few. Opener in Poland have added a few more to their bill. M83, LCD Sound System, Red Hot Chili Peppers and Sigur Rós played over the 4 days. Rock am Ring have extended their lineup, to which Black Sabbath, Biffy Clyro and Panic at Disco play in Germany at the start of June, and back to Spain while Bilbao BBK have announced Foles, Tame Impala as double headliners, with Arcade Fire headlining alongside Churches, Jose Gonzalez and Years and Years. So, Kate and Francesca, what do you think about European festivals? Are you tempted to go to any?
Oh, I'm not too sure of all of them. I know Hideout in Croatia, a couple of my friends have been to that one, so I wouldn't mind giving that one a go. It does look good. I'm not too sure of the lineup, but I'll give it a go. It looks good.
So yeah, we know really the ones here like Reading and Leeds, Glastonbury, like you mentioned,
Creamfields,
yeah.
It's sometimes in Europe as well. They're a lot cheaper to go to as well. So if you don't get a bit skint during the summers, you might be tempted to go across the channel.
Do you reckon we need our wellies to go to the festivals in the summer?
Maybe not in Barcelona, but maybe in Glastonbury.
Why not? I was going to pack them.
Yeah.
So, have you been to any in the UK in the summer? Which is your best?
I've not been to any yet, but this year I'm going to Benny Cassim because I love Kendrick Lamar and Jamie XX, and I really can't wait.
Jamie XX is good. I'd love to see him live.
Yeah.
What about in the UK?
I've never been to actually in the UK, not a proper one. But I've been to like small ones when I was younger, but not a Glastonbury or a Reading or Leeds.
Ah, okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Don't worry about it.
And yeah, thanks for that.
Thanks for that, Will. Now, hundreds and thousands of students are missing from the electoral register, and numbers are alarmingly low here at the University of Salford.
On Friday, it was National Voter Registration Day, and Max Merrill took a look at what actions are being taken by the Students' Union.
In the last general election, more than 70% of over 65s went to the polls. But for 18 to 25-year-olds, it was only 43%. I want to see what the USSU is doing to get those numbers up for Salford.
We've had students going out into all the different halls of residence, knocking on people's doors, giving them registration forms, showing them how easy it is to register and why it's important to register. The doors that we knocked on, people were really receptive. A lot of people were keen to take the forms and took a few extra for their housemates as well.
Over 1,400 students live in the buildings behind me, but at the start of January, only 32 people were registered to vote. That's in part due to a rule change in 2014, which saw 800,000 people drop off the electoral register. Universities were no longer required to automatically register students when they moved into halls. But it's not necessarily a lack of political interest that's keeping students living on campus from registering. The nearest polling station is half an hour's train journey away, or if you fancy it, an hour's walk.
Through our discussions with Salford City Council, we've come to an agreement that if we get around 600 or 700 students registered to vote, we will be able to get a polling station here on main campus. If you're doing it for the first time and you don't have anyone to explain it to you, maybe you need to be provided with some more guidance. This is why we will be able to do that, and we will be going around the accommodations, and we will be speaking to students, and we will be explaining to them how exactly they can register to vote.
Well, that's quite interesting, actually. Are you ready to register to vote, Francesca?
No, I'm not actually. I get letters in the post saying, like, oh, warning you to vote or not, but I've not really looked into it, no.
All right, okay. Anyway, Emily is here, and so you're going to give us a bit about a film review, and we're going to start with Zoolander, I think, aren't we?
Yes, Zoolander 2.
So you went down to watch it. What was it like? Good, bad?
It wasn't great, Kate.
Wasn't great.
I'm not going to lie.
Was it
The worst film I've seen for a while. Watching Bambi's mother die was funnier than Zoolander 2. And it wasn't just me, no one laughed. All the jokes fell flat. Yeah, it was awful, just a mess.
Was the cinema full, was it?
Yeah, it was busy cinema. I mean, it's Zoolander, the first film, it's got quite a cult following, and Zoolander's like, it's a good film as well. It's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's watchable, enjoyable enough. Yeah. This one, I mean, you know it's bad when you have to get Susan Boyle to do a cameo in it. It's just she appears and it's like, great, Susan Boyle's in this film. This is how bad it is. But my main issue with it wasn't funny at all, but it's just no heart. I think in the first film, Zoolander's such a lovable character.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask about the first Zoolander. So was there any difference between that and the second one?
A lot of it was the same jokes.
Just the same again?
The repetition, but it didn't pay off well at all. I mean, you got Penelope Cruz in this one, but her character's a bit pointless. It just felt, there was no heart to it at all. I mean, Zoolander, in the first one, you sort of love him. This one, you just want to punch his face. He's about annoying, and Hansel, his friend as well, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all.
Thank you very much, Emily. Thanks for that. So we're going to move on to the Deadpool now. So you went to go and see this one?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Was it any good? What do you reckon of Ryan Reynolds?
Deadpool was great. Definitely after Zoolander, it was a bit of a relief actually to actually watch a good film that was funny. So Deadpool they've tried to make it for quite a few years now, ever since the character appeared in X-Men. I don't know how much you know about Deadpool.
Not a lot, but I heard they're bringing out another one soon.
Yeah, there's a sequel that's been announced. So Deadpool, it's not a superhero, well, it is a superhero film, but he's an anti-hero. And it sort of takes a mick and sort of points and laughs at other superhero films, like the ones in the Marvel series. But it works quite well. It could easily be crude and just not pay off at all, but it is funny.
What about the atmosphere in the cinema this time?
Yeah, everyone was laughing, a few people clapped at the end as well, which was
that seems good then.
Yeah, and definitely safe for after the credits.
Sounds better for Zoolander.
Yeah, to go see Zoolander. It's terrible, not worth your money at all.
Just quickly, Emmy, out of 10, what would you rate it?
I'd rate Deadpool 8. Zoolander gets no stars, I'm afraid.
Stars.
I know, a bit mean, but oh well.
Thanks for that, Emily. Well, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. Don't forget to keep up to date with more of the latest news and events on our website, keysnews.net, or follow us at Twitter @KeysNews.
We'll be back next Tuesday at 1:30 with Quays News. Goodbye.